Hey everyone, Darren here, aka Irish Latino Reacts, Irish on the bottom, Latin American on top, and today we are watching episode 7 of Firefly. Shorter intro for you all folks today. I just want to take a moment and marvel at the great characterization that exists within this show. And I have one example of that sticking out in my mind from last episode that I want to talk about. Didn't get to make this point in the last outro, so I'm choosing to do it now. And that is the moment when Inara says, "Jesus, Mal, can you act like a human being for 30 seconds?" So why is it significant that she says that in the moment and the situation that she does? Well, reeling might be too strong of a word, but we can tell Inara is flustered with the sudden news that Mal suddenly has a wife. And we all know at this point that Inara is very attracted to Mal, so the thought of him having a wife could probably makes her a little jealous. And you can be jealous of someone finding someone else, even if you've never intended on being with that person. But through her jealousy, her potential jealousy, and her shock, she has the grace and tact to see that Mal is upsetting this woman who she's never met and still caring about her. A lesser person could be like, oh, good, Mal is making this bitch cry. We all know that Inara is extremely intelligent, both in the traditional sense and the emotional sense. And this is an example of the latter characterization of her. I think Inara has been subtly my favorite character, if I have to really think about it hard, at least for the time being. The other person I want to point out from last episode is Book. I did find him annoying in one moment during last episode, but mostly I found him very funny. And he's been funny before, so leave it to a show like Firefly to look for their comedic relief in a preacher. There were two times where he goes to Mal, "Oh, well, I apologize." His delivery was just perfect. I loved it. I'd like to thank all of my Patreon supporters for always supporting me. If you'd like to join them, you can find a link in the description below where you can gain access to full-length reactions early. There's also a $1 a month dirt cheap option if you just want to support me for the sake of supporting me. If you are watching this on YouTube and you are not yet subscribed, please really consider doing so. It really helps out the channel. I know everyone says that, but it's so much more true for such a small channel as mine. Also, leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know not only what you thought of this episode, but my reaction to it. All right, without further ado, let's get into Firefly episode 7. We're almost halfway, and I'm getting sad about it already, and we're not even halfway, almost though. Okay, so this one is called Jayne's Town. Now, I like Jayne as a character. I don't know how I'd feel if this episode was like fully Jayne-centric. I hope that's not the case. I mean, if it's a little more than other sub-characters, fine. But I don't need him on my screen 100% of the time.
I use swear words like anybody else.
Oh shit, really?
See, I never heard you. So when is it that you do all this cussing after I go to bed, or?
I swear when it's appropriate.
If you don't do it often, people really listen when you do. Teacher said that to me once.
See you two tomorrow. Don't let Mal get you into too much trouble while I'm gone. Fine, Al. Have good sex. Oh! Now this would be a perfect time for a swear word.
Yeah.
What happened in here?
Need to find some tape.
So you had to tear my infirmary apart?
I told you we're setting down on the Canton factory settlement on Higgins Moon. Canton don't allow guns in there, Jeff.
Yes, sir. That's why I ain't strapping one to my hip.
Huh.
No, that's why you ain't strapping one anywhere.
Oh, listen, Mal, I was in Canton a few years back. I might have made me a few enemies thereabouts. So.
Why are you still arguing what's been decided?
Ow.
Disengaging.
Now, this is an example of her traditional intelligence. Graphics look great. Love it. Nothing to complain about. I'll keep making that statement as long as it is pertinent to make. Ooh, this Canton doesn't seem like a, well, got some sewage issues perhaps.
Canton really stinks.
I vote we do this job really, really fast. Don't I usually stay with the ship?
I outrank you. Have fun.
All right. Wash got to get in on some action.
Where they make mud.
Yep. Clay, really.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many things it ends up in. Serenity's got more than a few ceramic parts in her.
I don't know, River.
Go on. I'm a shepherd, after all. I should be able to keep my eye on a flock of what?
But you
I'm
said
not
the
going that
shepherd
far,
was
Doctor.
symbolic.
You might maybe make yourself useful.
Come again?
The management here don't take too kindly to sightseers, which is why we're posing as buyers. There ain't a one of us that looks apart more than the good doctor.
Okay. Got these 5 going. Kaylee and Wash usually stay with the ship, I imagine, so this is an interesting group of 5.
I'm looking to buy some mud.
Well then, come to the right place.
I'm a buyer.
Best of its kind. You are the right catalyst. You kiln it proper. This stuff's 10 times stronger than steel and half the weight.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I've heard great.
I'm sure the foreman has things need attending. Why don't we wander a bit, take a look at the operation, then you can figure on whether we get an account here.
Not yet.
Yes. We'll wander a bit.
I mean, if this was your plan, Mal, you maybe should have prepped Simon first. And maybe he just came up with using Simon in the last second, but...
Boy's gonna get us killed. Just do this deal and get.
You haven't been here in years, Jane. No one's gonna remember you.
I
It's
guess he thinks
possible they might.
people might. What? He's supposed to be dead? Ha! Okay. You have piqued my interest in Janestown.
You want to tell me how come there's a statue of you here looking at me like I owe him something? Tell me.
No, I got no rotten idea.
Oh, really?
I was here a few years back, like I said. Pulled a
Twist.
second story, stole a lot of scratch from the magistrate up on a hill. But things went way south.
Look at
I
Simon.
had to hightail it. They don't put you on a pedestal in town square for that.
So yeah, this is
Yeah,
confusing.
I'm looking at some fair, compelling evidence. Says they do.
This must be what going mad feels like.
I think they captured him, though.
Looks sort of angry, don't he?
It's kind of what I meant.
So maybe it's not a grave. It's like some kind of quasi-wanted poster?
Everywhere I go, his eyes keep following me.
Yeah.
Do it. Get the hell out of here.
I agree with Jane here. Like, get going.
I crossed the magistrate of this company town. Understand?
Magistrate Higgins, I presume.
You may. I have a feeling it will take all your arts to deal with this particular problem.
Every problem, Mr. Higgins, is an opportunity in disguise.
They're calling it a problem, like a certain client a problem. That's interesting. Something's different or up with this client.
What are we up to, sweetheart?
Fixing your Bible.
I like them two together here.
What?
Bible's broken. False logistics. Doesn't make sense.
No, you can't.
So we'll integrate non-progressional evolution theory with God's creation of Eden.
She'll compromise.
11 inherent metaphoric parallels already there. It doesn't make sense.
Keeping my mouth
It's not
shut.
about making sense. It's about believing in something and letting that belief be real enough to change your life. It's
I can
faith.
I can get
You
behind
don't
those words.
Fix faith, River. It fixes you.
I love both. And once again, I love their interactions. Hope we get that all episode.
Can't be a statue of me. No reason for it. Flies in the face of every kind of sense.
What's a gussied up fellow like you doing in a place like this?
Is that the magistrate that Jane ripped off?
Shake your head, boy. Your eyes are stuck. Get!
You wouldn't be looking for Kessler.
Just having a brew.
Last week, the factory foreman and his prod crew heard he was moving contraband through town. Gave him a peck of trouble for it.
What kind of peck was that?
The kind where they hacked off his hands and feet with a machete. Rolled him into the bog.
They peck pretty hard around here. My client off world is waiting for his delivery. If the goods are gone...
Not to worry. Your man's merchandise is here, safe in Kessler's hiding place. Okay. We just got to figure out how to get it across town without being seen by the foreman and his prods. I advise we all just lay low for a moment.
What are the goods? That's always the question. And I know it's got to be something interesting, because this is fucking Firefly. Oh.
He robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor.
Simon's like, yup, this is going mad. Sorry, baby. Stupid alarm, sorry.
5 cents.
Can't afford a mic?
You can't do that to my people.
You got any light you'd like to shed on this development?
So, okay. So what he did actually made him revered.
This must be what going mad feels like.
Just keep it going. Just keep it going.
Common folk like you and I. Man they called Jayne, he turned around his plane and let that money hit the sky.
Go around, that's why that cash went. I stole that money from Higgins like the song says. Lifted me one of his hovercraft. I got tagged by anti-aircraft, started losing altitude. Had to dump them strong boxes. Stay airborne.
They think he did it on purpose, stole from the rich, gave to the poor.
60,000.
Peter Pan.
Untraceable. And I drop it right square in the middle of Mud Farmer Central.
I guess Jayne doesn't have to hide, though it might be dangerous in a different sense to show yourself on a place you're so revered.
I tore these out of your symbol and they turned into paper, but I want to put them back, so.
Sorry.
What's that? River?
Oh my God!
River, come back!
Incarnation of Einstein.
What the hell did you stick? Whoa!
Rotten mutters.
Someone's got to recognize him. The kid.
Don't you understand? He's come back. It's Jayne.
Hero Canton won't be drinking that Shung Man, yeah? He drinks the best whiskey in the house! Best in the world!
All right. Jayne can't complain about that, now can he?
What the hell's going on? This how people lay low where you're from?
Not generally, no.
Listen, friend, I came here to make sure a deal went down solid. Not to get chopped up by the Canton prod crew and fed to the bog.
I understand your concerns, friend.
Use it as a distraction, perhaps?
Still working the details.
Distraction.
Allow me to introduce my son, Fess Higgins.
Mr. Higgins, this
Fess.
shuttle is a place of union. I'm sure you can appreciate
What is
it.
this? I brought you here to bed, my son, not throw him a tea party.
Sir, a companion greeting ceremony
Yeah,
is a ritual
let her
with
do her
centuries
fucking
of
job.
My
tradition.
son is 26 years old, and he ain't yet a man. And since he can't find a willing
Mr.
woman
Higgins,
himself...
you're not allowed here.
Well, I'm...
Now, why don't you go on and let us begin our work?
No, listen here, young lady.
Good night, Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, you hired her to do a job. Fuck off and let her do it. To Jayne!
You know, I've saved lives, dozens,
He's drunk?
maybe hundreds.
Oh.
I retouched a girl's leg, her whole leg. She named her hamster after me. I got a hamster. He drops a box of money, he gets to town.
Ah.
Hamsters is nice.
To Jayne,
Money talks.
box dropping, man-ape gone wrong thing.
Please let.
You are pretty funny.
Okay, she's slurry too.
Pretty.
All right. Let's see what goes down here.
What did you just say?
Just say that you're pretty. Even when you're covered in engine grease, you're nice, especially especially when you're covered in engine grease.
It's time to get out of this nut house. I got some planning to work out.
Things are going so well.
I suppose. Jane's certainly feeling better about life, but
I
no, really,
said things are going well.
Oh, well. Well, I tell you what. Jane is stuck here with his adoring masses. Why don't you and Simon hang around and keep an eye on him for me?
She's like, yeah, Mal, fuck right off, please.
Please, why don't you come on out?
No, too much hair.
Is that it?
He's putting the hair away now.
Doesn't matter. You'll still be there, waiting.
Waiting.
Hey, we're home.
Did you know that Jane is a bona fide folk hero? Got a song and everything.
He's been drinking too.
You've been drinking, husband.
That he has. Don't make it any less the case.
You tell me that Jane...
It's true. True enough, we can use it. Anyways, we talked a few pillars of the murder community into having a little Jane Day celebration in Town Square tomorrow. It should buy us enough of a distraction to get the stolen goods out from under the foreman and his crew of prods.
That's what I said.
You're really gonna have to start again. Jane's a what?
This whole thing, it is embarrassing.
All right, fess up.
My father's right again, I guess. And to have to bring you here.
Your father isn't right, Fess. Companions choose the people they're to be with very carefully. If your father had asked me to come here for him, I wouldn't have.
She's so smart to say that. Oh, man.
But you're different from him. The more you accept that, the stronger you'll become.
So the magistrate, he let you folks keep all that cash?
He did. And it pained him, that's for dead sure. When he found out, he sent his prods in to take it back from us, but the workers resisted.
Okay.
Fought the law, huh?
If the mutters are together on the thing, there's too many of us to be put down. I can't believe you're back.
There's a problem in Workertown, sir. Jane Cobb's come back.
I really do like the setting of this moon. It's different than it still has the Western vibe, of course, but it's different than the others. It reminds me of a couple video games levels.
Even in Stitch?
Damn, prisoner?
You keep me in that box 4 years. You give me a loaded gun.
Yeah.
The urge to use it, no doubt. But I'm not the one who brought you in on that robbery. I'm not the one who partnered up with you and then turned on you when his plan went south. How high up was that shuttle when he pushed you out? 30 feet?
Jane.
Cobb. Cost you 4 years of your life, plus a perfectly good eyeball. And here's the poetical portion. He's back in town. This very day.
Wow.
Best of luck in your new life.
Wow. Shit. Aw.
No, nothing happened.
I'm glad nothing happened.
No,
Just the
there was,
cuddling.
There was some drinking, but we certainly didn't. No, I would never. Not with Kaylee.
What do you mean not with me?
Yeah, Where's my hero?
Our love for me now ain't hard to explain. All right, well, you go on now. I got me important hero type stuff to do.
No, maybe you ought to stay here.
Just for that one comment, Kaylee,
It's
come
not the time
on.
for a civilized person to have his breakfast. That's the sort of thing would be appropriate, don't you think?
Oh, come on, Kaylee. He, like, just placating for Mal. You did put your fist in your mouth again, I get it. But, like, I don't know. I think that was a little oversensitive.
Same menu.
What? Oh, what? I mean, orcs in Lord of the Rings know about menus.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
After.
No, you don't feel different after.
No, it was.
But it doesn't make you a man. You do that yourself.
So, that's where the little Jane celebration we got planned comes in. Should give us enough time to get the goods back in Serenity.
The Mutters, I think I really made a difference in their lives.
Morning, kids. Is that Jane? Is that really him? Wash, pinch me. I must be dreaming.
Oh, hell, I'll pinch you.
Just get on over to Town Square, Jane. Your friends are waiting. dug up.
What am I looking at? What am I looking at? What did I miss something?
A criminal hearing?
See, there's this man. He stole a ton of money from my dad and gave it to the poor, to my father's workers. He's become kind of a folk hero in Canton. Well, he's back. Apparently, he landed here yesterday.
Yesterday. I know this man. He thinks he's this hard-hearted criminal, and he can be unrelenting.
You mean you actually know Jane?
Jane? Jane Cobb? You're talking about Jane Cobb?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Jane
She
Cobb.
thought it
The hero
was
of Canton.
Mel.
The only person I ever saw who stood up to my father.
I
My dad had him traced back to his ship. He had port control, put a landlock on it. Jane will get back and find out that he's grounded.
Serenity got a landlock?
Yes, that would be bad.
Could I just get the check?
The what?
Please? Sir, I don't know who.
And Simon has gotten hit more than
spent the last 4
anyone
years
in this
steaming in a
show.
hot box, and you're serving me. Folks say you're part of Jane's team.
They love their boy. Just drive by nice and slow.
So I still don't know what the goods are. Waiting for that reveal.
Zoe, pack down the cargo. Wash, you heat up Serenity.
No good with words. Don't use them much myself. But I want to thank you all for being here and thinking so much of me. As far as I see it, you people have been given the shortest end of the stick ever been offered a human soul in this crap hill-verse. But you took that end. And that's, well, I guess that's something.
Wow, that didn't sound half bad.
What's gonna happen now?
Stitch-ition.
Well, hey there, Jane. Thought I'd make you watch while I butcher me one of your boys.
You ain't one of mine. You gonna got yourself looking mighty hideous.
What's this about a hero of Canton? Is I hearing that right? 4 years of lockdown
He's
plays
gonna
tricks
blow it
on
up.
the ear.
I ain't a hero, Stitch.
Yep, he's right. Jane is. Back we used to work together, he and I.
Mal's closing in. Okay. Okay.
Now why don't you just let old Stitch speak in peace?
How does he have periphery on that side? I don't get it.
Go on then.
Whole lot of money in a magistrate's safe, weren't there, Jane? But then our plane took a hit and we're going down. And there's Jane, the money, and me. There was no way he was gonna drop that money.
He did. He dropped it on the mutters.
That's it, you inbred dunghead. He tossed me out first. For 6 months we run together, he turned me out before I could scream.
You'd have done the same.
You protect the man you're with. You watch his back. Everybody knows that. Hell, except the hero of Canton.
You gonna talk me to death, buddy? Is that the plan?
It's the plan.
Oh! Oh, man. Oh, the kid still sacrificed? Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh. They make this look super real. I love it. And the way the kid flipped in the air when he got shot, like, that was real.
Get up, you stupid piece of... What'd you do that for? What's wrong with you? Did you hear a word he said?
All of you! You think there's someone just gonna drop money on you? Well, there ain't people like that. There's just people like me.
He's gonna knock the statue over. They still have the lock on them, the landlock?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Has there been a problem with takeoff?
Problem. Is there a problem?
Just tell Minaj that, well, he knows now, but like, oh.
No.
Oh, did Inara do something? Okay.
You did what?
Nice.
Lifted the landlock on Serenity.
Now to wipe that smile off your head. How dare you defy me, you...
You wanted to make a man out of me, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it worked.
Ooh, yeah. Go Fess. Fucking Fess.
confound me some is all. I mean, you like me well enough, and we get along, and then you go all stiff. What's so damn important about being proper? It don't mean nothing out here in the black.
It means more out here. It's all I have. Well, it's the only way I have of showing you that I like you.
So when we made love last night...
When we what?
No.
You really are such an easy mark.
I guess I'm an easy mark too. I self-appointed gullible man here.
Don't make no sense. Why the hell that mother have to go and do that for him, Hal? Jumping in front of that shotgun blast. Probably sticking that statue right back up.
Most likely.
Interesting
I don't know
thought.
why that eats at me so.
It's my estimation that every man ever got a statue made of him was one kind of sumbitch or another. Ain't about you, Jane. It's about what they need.
Just a symbol. Symbol that there's good in the world, even if it's a false symbol. I love the last little musical motif there too. Wow. Wow. All right. Let's talk about episode 7 of Firefly. All right, another excellent episode of Firefly. Why am I not surprised? I think I do like it a little better than episode 6, and I think I know why. But first, I'll take back the thing I said at the beginning, that I was not interested in a Jane-centric episode, or at least I didn't know if I was going to be interested in it. And yeah, turns out I was, and I am. So I mentioned, I think, a few episodes back, I talked about characterization and character development, how characterization doesn't necessarily mean character development. And I talked about how I don't think up to that point, and even up to last episode, there hasn't really been much character development. And that's not a criticism. That is not a criticism whatsoever. I don't really feel like this show has that vibe. It's very episodic, right? It's not Battlestar. It's not The Expanse. It's not Game of Thrones. And partially that's probably because of its unceremonious ending, being ended too early. I'm sure they would have put some character development in, and they might still here. My point to that ramble is that I think Jane might be the first example of a little bit of character development. Now, I'd have to probably take some more time to analyze what that really means or what that really is, pinpoint it down, become more eloquent and articulate about what it really is. But I think there's something there. And that's really cool. And that's not unexpected that it'd be Jane to make me feel like there is some character development. And that's so cool. And so like this show to give me something like that. So unexpected. Yeah, hopefully I'll have, once again, a more articulate discussion about what that is or what that looks like in the next intro. And of course, feel free to summarize what you think. If you agree with me, one, that he has some small sense of character development. I'm not saying he's got to suddenly be some changed man going forward, but if you agree that there's something there, and what do you think it is? How would you explain it? Definitely. So the reason why I think I like this better than episode 6 is just, I would use the word consistency, where episode 6, I thought the first half was great. Second half was good. I did have the big criticism that the conflict of the Snatcher, the ring, was pretty short-lived. Now, the conflict here was also short-lived. How long was that scene with the guy, whatever his name is? It was a weird name. How long was that scene from when he shot it to when he died? 2.5 minutes? So, and yet, I thought it was still very effective as the peak of the episode. It didn't have to be long. And probably one reason is that unlike just shooting at the ring, there's acting in this. There's great dialogue, great characters. That villain was a great character, and it had a great backstory, and the implications of him telling this group of people that this idol that they idolized is false and a fabrication in their minds, and then still having one of his biggest fans maybe not believe it, not want to believe it, not understand it, jump in and save Jayne. And once again, when he helicoptered in the air with that shotgun blast, like that was tragically sweet. Definitely. Jayne pushes down the statue. So yeah, that's why I think this episode is superior to episode 6. The conflict just hit. The peak of it just hit so much better. And then the resolution was very, very touching with Jayne and Mal at the end, where, as I said, them holding Jayne up as a symbol of good is something that's good for them. And even if it is false, it's still something to believe in. And wow, does that tie in so much with what Book was talking about faith in general earlier. Faith is not about being true. It's about believing something that fixes you. You don't fix it. It fixes you. And it doesn't necessarily have to make sense. That's not the point of faith. And that there's a lot of parallels there, once again, with how the people looked at Jayne. And I'm not saying they looked at him like a god. I'm not saying that. Just a hero. Whether in that he's a false hero is immaterial. All right, what else? Kaylee and Simon. All right, getting closer there. I was really gullible with Kaylee saying, "Oh, so when we made love last night," and I must look so stupid, falling for that. But I am a gullible person. I'm glad they just snuggled in their drunken stupor, and nothing else happened. I'm glad they reconciled at the end there. I thought Kaylee was a little overly sensitive to Simon's comment, even though it was a badly timed comment, and calling her oversensitive might get me in trouble in the comments, but so be it. So I get more comments out of it. Let's see. What else can I talk about? Wash was his usual, comedic self. But the funniest part, the funniest part was when Simon asked for a menu. Guy's like, what? It's still funny now. It's so good. Oh, God. Oh. This show is good for, several, pretty good laughs, and one, belly laugh, at least an episode, which is so good. So good. Oh, let's see. Is there anything else to talk about? Another moon, another cool setting. Anora coming in clutch. Loved her dialogue. And the fact that, she was the B story, right? And that hand moving probably wasn't the best thing to do when talking about Anora. But she was the B story, and I love how it interweaved with the A story to kind of diffuse that final conflict of the landlock. And Fess stood up to his father, so that's great. There's character development right there. Okay, anything else to talk about? So didn't do much. I think I'm going to leave it there, folks. Thank you all for watching this reaction with me here on Patreon. You guys are all the best. I love you so much. You are the reason I can continue to do what I do. So if you like what I do and you want me to continue doing it, this is the best place to be. Thank you so much, especially to some of my new members who have only been with me here for a short amount of time. All right, everyone, I will catch you in the next reaction.